And we're actually going to start standing, so you guys can make your way up to your feet and stand at the front of your mat, placing your awareness in your feet, and we're going to set a really steady foundation to start. So parallel the outside edges of your feet and just rock a little from heels to toes, starting to feel your thighs engage as you lift up toes and calves engage as you lift up heels. Just rocking a little forward, backwards. And then ground the feet, rocking from outside edge to inside edge, side to side. Starting to weave in that connection with your breath. The whole, the meaning or translation of yoga, if you don't know, is union, or, and the sutras, which make up sort of the philosophy. If you haven't already, ground your feet completely. And we're just gonna stand in a tall Tadasana. So the sutras that make up the yoga philosophy, sutra translates into thread. So it's all about weaving these components together of body, mind, and spirit, or like your breath, your body, and your mind. So standing in Tadasana, firm up your thighs and stand tall and lift up the heart space, especially if you're outside, just gazing up and taking it in with open palms. Taking a nice big breath in, expand your lungs, and opening the mouth to let it go. Feel that wave with your breath. Inhale, chest lifts, and exhale, grounding into the feet. One more big breath like this, and exhale. Inhale and bring the arms up overhead, holding onto the left wrist, reaching up and over gently. Don't force it, just gentle stretch. Inhaling up through center and exhaling to the other side. We'll do that one more time on this side. Hold it here, drop your bottom arm and sweep it around your back. Now gaze up towards your top arm, press into your feet and grow a little taller through your spine. Take one more full breath in. Exhale. Inhale to sweep up towards center. And exhale, other way. Dropping that bottom arm. Sweep it around the back and then gaze up towards your top arm. Drawing those lower ribs in, press into your heels to grow tall. Inhale, exhale. Inhale up through center, reach up through fingertips, and exhale, press into the palms, elbows wide. So much pressure between the palms that your arms start to shake a little bit. All of the arm muscles are engaged as you engage the chest, the back muscles. Maybe feeling heat start to build between the hands. Okay, release that pressure, Tadasana. Inhale and sweep the arms up. On your exhale, bend the knees, swan dive, and fold it down. Get the thighs really close to your chest. So pull your hip points, your hip flexors back. You might even move or use your hands to guide the hips back. And then bringing your chest towards your shins. Relax the head at the bottom, even shake it out a little bit. Hold on to opposite shoulders, elbows, and ragdoll a little side to side. That connection with your breath as you move. Looking to release any tension through the neck and shoulders, especially maybe being hunched over laptops a little more. Release your elbows. Inhale to a flat back. Straighten the legs, lift up the chest, and exhale, rebend the knees. Peel down slowly, slowly. 2 more times. Inhale, flat back, straight legs. Press into the ground as you straighten. Exhale, soften and refold. The head is the last thing to release down. One more time, move with your breath. Strong legs, root your heels. And exhale, refold. On the inhale, reverse swan dive. Press through your feet, lift up. And exhale, palms together, press into the arms, engage the back, the chest, everything. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Release the head. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step your right foot back and drop the knee down to the mat. On your inhale, walk hands up to the thigh for a low lunge, and then lift up from your pelvic floor. So lift up your hips just a bit, lift up the chest. Inhale, sweeping arms up. Hold on to the right wrist and reaching up and over. Find length rather than just collapsing into the ribs. Up and over, like you have a big ball that you would be curving around. Breathe into that space in the right side body. It's a bouncing act. So actually the other way, going towards your front knee. There you go. All right, come back through center. Exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck your back toe and step back to plank pose. Getting strong here with your first breath. Firm up the thighs. Exhale, drop the knees and lower in a modified chaturanga all the way to the mat. Inhale to a baby back bend. Keep your lower ribs on the ground. Exhale, press up and back to child's pose. Settle the hips all the way down to the heels and reach out through the fingertips. You might wiggle the hips a little bit. Think about your intention for this practice today. What are you trying to gain from this practice, or what brought you to the mat, so that you can let that guide your movements? You can be more intense if that's what you're looking for, or you can soften if that's what your body needs. Inhale, come forward into all fours. Moving right into a few cycles of cat-cow. As you inhale, lower the belly. And as you exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lower belly. Exhale, cat, press the ground away. Go through a few more cycles of this, syncing up your breath, but feel free to veer off the railroad tracks, maybe moving hips side to side and moving your spine in all the ways that it can. Maybe shaking out the neck if that feels like an area of tension. The important part is prioritizing your breath. Your awareness starts to come into your body as you notice what's going on, and you direct your breath there to make space, to let go of any stress that's being held in your body. Good. Tuck the toes. We're gonna lift the legs up, bring the hips to their highest point for downward dog. One leg at a time, pedal out through the heels, spreading your hands wide, rooted into the mat through your arms. If you're outside, maybe you can imagine those roots growing beyond the surface of your mat and feeling that connection, that support below you. Come into stillness and downward dog, letting the heels reach to their lowest point. Chest is moving back towards the shins. Take a breath in here. Sigh it out with noise. Two more like that. Inhale through the nose. Sighing it out. One more. Let go. Taking a walk to the front of your mat, come into a forward fold. Get the thighs close to the chest, release all the way down. Inhale, strengthen your legs, come up halfway. Exhale, refold. Reverse swan dive, inhale, rise up, maybe a baby back bend at the top as your chest lifts higher. Exhale, hands to heart center, engage the arms, press them together. Inhale, straight back up. Exhale, swan dive and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Get into that flow and rhythm of your breath and movement. Exhale, hands to the mat. Left foot steps back for a low lunge on the other side. Walking hands up to the thigh, let your hips come up with you. Anchor into your feet, press them into the ground. Inhale, arms come up. This time holding onto the left wrist, up and over to the right. See if you can stabilize through your center. You might feel how your legs have to activate a bit more to hold you, to balance you. Breathe into the space. So you found the form, then connect your breath. On an exhale, come back through center. Hands come to the mat. As you step back and move through your chaturanga flow, you have the option, maybe you drop the knees again, or keep them lifted on this round, lower down on an exhale. Inhale to a version of cobra. Maybe you go a little higher in your back bend. And exhale, downward dog. Taking a full breath in through the nose. Let it all go on the exhale. Walking to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Ground your heels as you prepare to reverse swan dive. Inhale, lift to a baby back bend. Palms together, exhaling, heart center, press the palms. Inhale to start again, arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Starting with the right foot again, step it back, but keeping that leg lifted this time. A runner's lunge. Now heel toe your foot to the outside of your hands, so both hands are to the inside of the leg. This is lizard pose. Rocking a little forward, backwards. Bring in some movement and mobility through the hips. Connect your breath. Try to come to a place here where it feels good in your body, where your breath is starting to invite in more ease of movement and ease of being. Okay, stabilize in your lizard pose. Inhale, left hand comes up to the sky, lizard twist. Exhale, plant the hand back down. The right foot steps to the outside of the right hand and come into malasana, or a deep squat. Sit those hips all the way down and then lift up your chest. Press the palms together. So similar how we're standing, press them together, activate the chest, the back. This tailbone is reaching down and the crown of the head is reaching up. Breathe here. If you have a crow practice, or you want to give this a try, so you could stay right where we're at for the next few breaths, or maybe play with an arm balance, lifting hips up high, squeezing the upper arms. Listen to this next part, it's important. Gaze forward. It's going to feel awkward to gaze forward, but that's your counterbalance. From here, lean into your arms. Tiger claw your fingers into the mat. And then maybe one foot at a time, you can start lifting off. Maybe play around with that. Yes, beautiful. Gaze forward. That's going to help you, prevent you from rolling forward. Good job, guys. Come back down. Circle out the wrists a few times. Planting hands onto the mat. Step or hop back into your plank pose and move through a flow, just getting energy to move through your whole body. Exhale to lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog by lifting the legs. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale your right leg towards the sky. Exhale, step to the outside of your right hand, lizard pose on the other side. Moving forward, backwards. Don't get stuck in the pose. Invite that freedom into your body. Led with your breath. And then come to a stable position, grounding left hand into the mat. Reach out through your crown, a long spine. Inhale, right arm comes up, twist. And exhale, floating it back down. Back foot comes to the outside of the hand, back to your malasana squat. Sit your hips down, lift the heart up. Inhale, exhale. If you wanted to give crow another try, you can do that again here. Lift those hips up really high. Gaze forward. It's important to squeeze your knees into your arms because that's going to engage your core. And that's how you're going to hold and stabilize here. Awesome job. Love it. Falling happens with inversions. It's just part of it. Come back down to your squat. That was great. Fearless, I love it. Most people are too scared to try. Plant your hands to the mat, lift the hips up high and parallel the outside edges of your feet. Wiggle the hips a little side to side. Let your head dangle and start to flow even more. Running hands along the mat. Pause in the middle. Root your right hand right underneath of your face. Bend into your right knee and open up left arm towards the sky. So that right hip is coming down. Yes, exactly. Exhale, switch hands on the mat, other way. Left knee bends, right arm sweeps up, breathe into it. Exhale, back to center, forward fold. Heel toe your feet right under your hips. Inhale, flat back, root your heels into the mat. Exhale and fold. Reverse swan dive, inhale, lift up. Exhale, press palms together, heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale and swan dive to the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, stepping back to downward dog. Lift your hips up high, heels down, and come into stillness this time. Find 3 deep breaths. Can you picture yourself in this inverted V? Can you see the shape of yourself from sort of an outside perspective? Strong. Good. Inhale, left leg towards the sky. Exhaling into pigeon pose. So knee coming to the wrist and then crossing the shin so that it's parallel with the front edge of your mat. It's not going to be perfectly parallel, it's just the direction that we're looking for. Point your back toes long behind you and come up onto the fingertips, lifting the heart and the gaze up. On the exhale, spine stays long as you slowly start to fold down to your mat. Taking conscious breaths, slowly easing into this hip opening. It can feel really uncomfortable for athletes and runners. Believe me, I know. This was my arch nemesis of a pose. And to share, one thing that really helped with this is paying attention to the connection of your belly to the hips, the very lowest part of your stomach. Check in and see if you're holding any tension there. And if you do notice it, on your exhale, imagine that just softening and letting go, or even talk to your body and be like, okay, I'm cool here. We can relax. But that letting go is in the exhale. One more breath. Good, starting to lift back up. We're gonna sit all the way down to the seat and bring your back leg forward. So the left leg is bent and the inside of the foot is on the inside of the thigh, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, up with the arms. Exhale and twist to the right, letting the hands come down to the knee and to the ground behind you. So into a twist. Take a breath here and gaze over your back shoulder as you exhale. Inhale, come back forward, reach the arms up. On the exhale, reach to the outside of your right foot. So we're kind of moving diagonally here. See if you can hold onto the outside edge, or maybe you find the outside of your calf instead. And we're moving towards that hand. So we're moving towards the edge of your mat. Taking 3 full breaths here to release the head, to find stillness, and then just focus on your breath. We obviously become aware of the sensations, and that's awesome because we know that our awareness is there. But then we try to anchor into the breath. So we use that as part of our yogi toolbox, our breath, to directly to directly tend to that sensation. Lift back up. Bring both feet to the mat and windshield wiper the knees side to side. Hands can be behind you to support. Nothing crazy here, just that rotation of the hips. Good. Okay, come to your seat and cross your right leg back behind you. Your left shin is in front. The left hand comes behind, and inhale, lift the hips up, reach that right arm up into a back bend, pressing the hip flexors. Exhale, sit back down. So we flow through this 2 more times. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, ground into your sitting bones. Sit up tall. Great. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, sit it back down. Come over into all fours, so maybe not feeling like such a smooth transition, but that's okay. Just make your way there and wiggle the hips. Plant your hands, tuck the toes, downward dog. Take a cycle of breath. Inhale. Heels release to the mat. Exhale. Inhale, right leg towards the sky. Exhale, pigeon pose, other side. Take a few breaths to just set up your alignment. Walking the left leg long behind you, flattening the top of the foot. Coming up onto fingertips to find extension through the spine. Breathe in here. And with your next few exhales, letting yourself fold as it becomes available to you. So the first few breaths might get you halfway, and then maybe the next few, there's some more space to lower. You can cross the arms to make a pillow for your head. And then just stick with where you're at for a minute. Just stick with this, breathing deeply into that lower belly, hip area. Becoming aware of any sensations in the entire body. Doing a quick scan. Check your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. Any of those areas that sometimes tension creeps up into, and then breathe into those sensations to tend to them. Taking a last breath here to begin your transition back up. Lifting onto the hands, and then we sit all the way down, swing that back leg in front of you. Forward fold, or actually lift arms up. Twisting first. Exhale, hand to the knee, other hand behind. Gentle pressure to help you twist. Exhale, gaze over the back shoulder. Inhale, forward, arms come up. Exhale, folding forward to the outside of your left foot. Holding onto the shin or the foot, wherever your hand makes contact. Taking 3 full breaths. Breathe into the lower back. The toes point straight up as you flex your ankle and lengthen the backside of your leg. Inhale to come back up. Both feet to the mat again as we windshield wiper knees side to side. So really tending to the hips a lot today. Bring the left leg behind you and the right foot or right leg in front. So we find this like Z shape with the legs. The right hand goes behind on the ground 3 times. Move with your breath. Inhale, lift hips up. And exhale, flow it back down. A sweeping shoulder movement, or just sort of make this expression your own. There's not necessarily a right way or wrong way to do it, but just to get into your own flow. Exhale, sit back down after that 3rd one, and bring both legs to the front. Sit up tall, both toes point up, and ground your thighs into the mat. You might even press into the ground to check that you have this nice tall spine. From here, bring your hands to the armpits, or just like place there, so the elbows hugging in. Your belly engages, core engages to hold you here. Breathe into that strength. Now start sliding hands up past the ears, up towards the sky. Stay nice and tall. Breathe here. One more breath in. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Keep your arms right by your ears as you start to fold. You might even bend the knees a little bit. Now hold this for a breath. And on your next exhale, release the hands down. Just soften the arms, fold the head into your forward fold, taking 3 cycles of breath. 1, inhale 2, inhale 3, fold a little deeper on that exhale. Inhale to round the spine up, bend both of the knees, hands come behind you. Inhale to lift the hips up, reverse tabletop, open up the shoulders, let the head drop back. Breathe into this space, into this shape. Relax your neck or make space in your neck so you make sure you're not compressing shoulders towards ears. On your exhale, sit back down and then roll all the way down to your mat, hugging the knees in towards the chest, a little ball, rocking side to side along the spine. Feet to the mat for bridge pose. Heels close to your backside. You can check the distance by bringing your fingers to the backs of the heels. Check that you can feel your feet. Then plant the palms. Inhale, press the hips up, holding it up. Breathe into the belly. Feel the bottom of that exhale where your belly button is closest to the spine. Exhale and lower down. You could come into this exact same version, or if you're feeling really open and inspired to back bend, we're gonna give this advanced pose a try. So reach arms up towards the sky, and then bend the elbows, hands come right by the ears. So the fingers are pointing towards your shoulders, the feet stay just about where they are, and the first press of your arms is up to the crown of your head. See if you can find this version of the back bend first and make sure it's not compressing the spine. If you're good here, do that next push up, lifting up through the hip flexors, pressing through the arms and legs. If you can find that shape safely, take a few breaths here. It might be uncomfortable, but just make sure it's not pain. Good, exhale, come back down, slowly, slowly. And draw the knees into the chest. Extend the legs all the way long and reach your arms overhead. Interlace the fingertips and press the palms in the opposite direction of your head. So your palms are like facing forward. Big stretch, maybe even point through the toes. Cross the elbows, reach for opposite elbows and relax your arms to the ground. Relax your feet. And just let the position open up the chest and shoulders, the neck. Breathe into the space. Slowing it down for our last few breaths. Can you feel that effect on your nervous system as you take calm, even breaths? Your breath is the communication with your body, letting it know that it's safe and that it's able to relax here. Maybe switch the cross of the elbows. Relax the back and spine. Feel heavy on your mat. Roll over to your side. So bend the knees, come into a fetal position using one arm to support the head. Maintain a steady rhythm of breath. And then slowly press yourself up to a cross-legged seat. Awesome. Bring the hands to heart center. Close the eyes if that feels comfortable. If you have a beautiful view, just soak that in. Not focusing on anything in particular, but taking in all of the space at the same time, like a complete open awareness. breathing deeply here. This is all we're doing, is just keeping open awareness, tending to our breath, and letting that prana, and yoga, prana is life force, prana is your breath, letting that prana reach every single cell in your body. Feel it alive in your whole body, bringing in energy. Letting the corners of the mouth come up into a smile. Open up the palms and let them rest on your knees. Tuck the chin slightly so the crown of the head is reaching towards the sky. And on an exhale, send awareness down into your sitting bones, all the way into the earth. Imagining it travel beyond the surface of the ground, all the way down to the core of the earth, so that you're completely aligned with gravity. Grounded. Can you bring just a little more ease to your breath and body? A little more ease to your mind. Let yourself just be here. We'll seal in our practice with one last breath together. Sweep your arms out and overhead. Open the eyes at the top. Exhale, pull those hands to heart center. Bow towards one another, towards yourself and your practice. Honoring the light inside of each of us as we say Namaste. And thank you, thank you, thank you for joining in and allowing me to guide you through this time and just dedicating this time to yourself, because it's so important that we each do this individually. So thank you.